What's up, everybody? We're here in game 2 of this series between BMG and SG, Scrimcast, obviously, and game 2 going SG's way once again as the surprising decision to let the opposing team get Moon Queen and take the game late did not pay off for the guys on BMG, and I just looked it up to see how that happened in the Haunter Season 2 playoffs, and in games of 30 minutes or more, Moon Queen was 6-8. In games of less than 30 minutes, Moon Queen was 9-4. So that takes my theory about game go late, Moon Queen win, and just sort of throws it out the window, doesn't it? So, okay. It's just, I would assume that, 30 minutes or more, Moon Queen farm would just explode, and there's nothing you can do about that. Apparently, that's not the case. And when Moon Queen wins, or Moon Queen doesn't let the game go late, she just wins. So that might be just because, she gets so crazy on her, crazy good early on that she just turns into this massive thing that you can't stop and takes the game real fast. But interesting. That's just not what I would have expected. I don't know. Anyway. Sorry, I forgot to put pick data in for last pick. So, Fair, Torpor, Madman, and I'm really surprised. I don't know why. Anyway, that's the Ophelia Engineer bands, Engineer Parasite bands here for the Hellborn side, as Ophelia and Parasite get taken out by Swindle. Apparently, when he can't draft those guys early on, he feels like he should ban them, as he took them both out, both that Ophelia and Parasite. What am I even looking at here? Pestilence, now I totally messed this up. Pestilence, Ophelia. Engineer Parasite. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to do stat sheets at the same time, and this is just totally screwing with me. Bans, mostly normal, nothing crazy to talk about there. Swindle once again banning off Parasite when he was moved over to the Hellborn side, as he can't first pick that Parasite. First picks here, Rhapsody, Puppet Master, and Torturer, so pretty strong push here between Rhapsody and Tort. Decent enough AoE damage, and Puppet Master providing a lot of single target as well. So, solid lineup so far here, has plenty of late game potential. Some team fight, I think, not the greatest. Obviously, Rhapsody also can be very helpful in saving Puppet Master and friends. A little squishy as well, not the best initiation really. Puppet Master is their only real initiator at this point. You probably don't want to put your carry in the initiator role as well, because if you jump somebody else and get counter initiated and die, then you basically lose the game. And so we'll see what else they choose. I suspect they'll put KGE on something else, maybe a Gauntlet. Or if he even makes it past the banning stage. So bans flying fast and free now. Yep, there's the Gauntlet. As that seemed like a really strong ban there. Mostly because it's like, hey, that's a really good hero for the KGE, and maybe we want to get rid of it. And once again, I'm spending too much time filling these damn forms out, not enough time talking about the game. So, Hellborn side managed to pick up Pharaoh, Tempest, and Bubbles, obviously getting one of Tempest's biggest counters in Pharaoh, so strong initiation from Pharaoh is going to be nice to set up those Tempest ultimates, so he basically Pharaoh can be like, hey look, I found them all, just drop a hole on here please, and should line that up quite nicely. Bubbles also helping with that as well, so lots of crowd control here on the Hellborn side. The issue is they're going to be damage. How are they going to hurt things? Hanskin banning out Moon Queen, Corrupted Disciple, and Warbeast. 3 heroes that are really, really happy when their opponents are locked down by their teammates. That's interesting. It's almost like every single one of those heroes would be massively complemented by the opposing team's picks. It's impressive. It's some smart drafting right there. No, it really is. I'm not being sarcastic or anything like it's like, man. Anyway. Apparently my answer is like, I'm hungry. Bans for Hellborn are Bensington Pebbles and Gauntlet. little eclectic there. Bensington once again, as Swindles just apparently does not ever want to face that hero and will consistently ban it out. Pebbles got a little more focused to KGE, initiator heroes no doubt, and heroes that would certainly work well for this team as so far their first 3 picks have mostly been about, I'm going to sit in the back here, let somebody else start the fight, and then do a whole bunch of damage when it does start, but I don't want to be up in the front lines myself, so eliminating some of those heroes, no doubt a strong thing. Magmus definitely going to fit that initiator role a little bit, but it seems like Magmus to me is a second initiator. Pharaoh is a primary initiator. Pharaoh is a hero that jumps in on the other team like, hey, it's me, what's up? Magmus is like, my team has just, or my primary initiator has just jumped. I'm going to channel my ultimate so I can get a good one onto a bunch of people, because if I channel this and start the fight, there's a reasonable chance I'm going to miss a lot of them. I want the fight to have already started by the time I'm channeling my ultimate so I can jump in on a team fight that's currently in progress. So as a primary initiator, Magmus doesn't seem super happy to me. We'll see what they go for last year. That might be Jonas's hero, and they're going to go for a second initiator here for KGE. It's very possible we'll see a Torturer Babysit in the support role for Fuzi on that puppet, and I sort of hope that's what's going to happen. But yeah, more access, much better. Okay, I like that a lot. I'm not a huge fan of the Suicide Magmus, to be fair, but we'll see how they choose to do that, and I think that's almost certainly what's going to happen. We're going to see Magmus in Joseph fans' hands, and that's exactly what it looks like here so far. So Miraxis is a much better selection, I think, than Magmus as a primary initiator. Miraxis is going to jump in there saying, hey, look at me, I have a big old fat Matrax. Then Magmus is going to be like, hey, remember B2, I have a big old fat eruption. Then Puppet Master is going to be like, hey, look at me, I have awesome right-click auto attacks with Whiplash. And the Hellborn team is going to be, no, save us. Dragon Master pickup from Hellborn is, depends, we'll see after this one. Man, my nut's a little salty there. Interesting. I hope that's not a Chessie DM, just because that's not going to be the damage. It's nice complementary damage. Empath. It is, of course, because they hadn't backed to support yet. I completely missed that. I don't know how I did, but okay, the Empath is actually going to help a lot in terms of damage, because when she jumps inside of somebody, it's going to be a big deal. But I'm concerned about Hellborn's damage. The lockdown is definitely there. No doubt they're going to be able to keep somebody from going anywhere for a very long period of time. The issue that I have with it is that who's gonna lay down the hurt, I guess. And I suppose it's Drunken Master. Drunken Master can definitely do a bunch of damage, and that's great. But I think we should notice that Legion are running a dual support lineup here, so that's going to play in Legion in Hellborn's favor quite a lot, as stuff's just starting filling some stuff out here. Anyway, lanes are developing here. No surprise, we're going to see DM and Empath top, I think, and Bubbles in the middle with Pharaoh as the Suicide. Could see Swindle in the Suicide role as well. No, we're going to see Empath bottom, or is she just warding? We'll see. I hope we see Drunken Empath top. That's actually a pretty solid lane combination. A lot of kill potential there with the wall and the lunge in. And I'm just honestly not a huge fan of these aggressive dual lanes, especially in a situation where Pharaoh's a perfectly adequate Suicide, and he might get boxed out a little by this Torturer. In fact, he will get boxed out quite a lot by this Torturer. Up top, Tempest's going to get the strings put on him, and he's dead. You're cooked, my nuts. Sorry, buddy. KG picking up the kill, and he will take lots of gold as a result. Very, very nice start for him. Going to put him much closer to his bottom than he would have been already, and should allow him pretty strong dominance of that middle lane. But they're going to be effectively suiciding both mid and bot, I think, anyway. So they might as well get a concentrated win on the top lane. So I hope that Empath isn't down here, but it's possible she will be. It looks like she's just sort of hanging out. I don't know, this doesn't seem like the greatest lane in the history of the world to me, and their site is there, so they might know this is going on. No surprise, Torturer coming bottom to support this this Puppet Master. Empath can be spotted out there. Middle lane going to be a duel of Miraxis and Rhapsody. I'm liking that. as I'm filling out my stuff. And we'll see where this empath chooses to go. We actually sent Chessie middle and Bubbles top. Not a huge fan of Bubbles top. I've said that before, and I think up against Magma it's not going to do too much. So this is actually going to be a dual lane middle with Drunken Empath. I like the dual lane. I'm just not sure it should be middle. Bubbles top in the solo. Pharaoh's bottom in the solo against a duel. Empath is middle and a duel against a duel. And Drunken Master is middle and a duel against a duel. So, anyway. I believe I got everything right there. Obviously, Meraxis having enough for his bottle already. We'll see if he chooses to ferry it out. That Bloodlust helping a lot, of course. Yep, there it is. And here it comes. Still not an upgraded courier. There it goes. Meraxis, obviously. A lot of fun. This is probably one of the more hilarious alt avatars that currently exist in the game. Top ring going to be contested a little bit here, as both Legion's heroes are like, yeah, no, you can't have this. All picked up by Meraxis. 2-minute ring going to spawn up top. It is haste. Just use your stun there, buddy. Get both CS. No, because there's a haste ring up top. Nope, instead, looks like Rhapsody will try to scout out Tempest. Not going to find him. Not sure if he should be able to kill anyway. Scout of Stone and Dance Floor might be a little annoying. Off the side, Empath and get flying. And actually, she doesn't even have mana for both anyway. Should probably drop off his bottle on Rhapsody and let her use the haste rune. No, actually, Refreshment Pot is already taken. It's a bit surprising. Anyway, I'm calling BMG wins this game. I normally love the duels, or the jungle up against dual support, and it does tend to win most of the time. The reason I'm concerned about this lineup is, despite all the lockdown that Hellborn side does have, I'm not convinced the damage is there. If Drunken gets shut down or killed at all, they have nothing. They just have 0 damage. So basically the entire point of this Legion team is going to be to focus that Drunken Master, and they've got stuns out the ass. They have Puppet Master ultimate, which is going to just destroy him. The Untouchable is going to do a lot of work in this game, no doubt. But once that wears off, he's going to die in about half a second. Up top, Bubbles taking a bunch of damage from this Magnus. That's another thing. You know, Bubbles just not a hero that does all that well in this matchup. Shell Surf is available, so that would have been a pretty easy kill. I would have just kept diving and been like, alright. Although I guess the Magnus Lava Surge is also there. No take cover for some reason from Bubbles. If he had take cover there, he would have been able to dive that Magnus and kill him with Shell Surf. But hey. Let's retract to the side, pull in this the wave. Okay, we'll say I massively favored BMG's draft last game, and they lost, so doesn't mean anything, but Spike, Strings going out there. On to Pharaoh. He's got the Hellfire up, but there's a Puppet Show, and that's going to be easy kill on Limb. Just too much lockdown from that Puppet Master. That was awful. Does he say Star Shot? Like, I can't tell what he actually does when he says when he launches a Shell Surf. Anyway, Joseph Man up here, 211 gold per minute. Swindle's at 277, so no doubt Swindle having a strong lane up here, sitting at 15-3 for Magnus, 22 and 6 for Noble, so not a huge surprise. Bubbles is winning this lane, as he does have the harassment potential to zone out Magnus fairly effectively, but Jonas really not having a terrible time either. And that's also not a surprise, to be honest. I honestly figured Magnus would have a pretty good time up here, and not doing quite as well as I had expected, but doing just fine. Torture, meanwhile, going to roam up top, and perhaps looking for a jump onto Bubbles. Has Shell Surf back up in a second, though. No take cover, and Magnus is going to stun and run away. This Torture's not even close enough. I think they're going to try to bait out the Shell Surf here, as Magnus does a stun back up in a second or two. There's 1 second, and Bubbles, you need to be careful here, buddy. Oh, Jonah's going to get hit by the tower. Shell Surf. Yeah, he's alright. Kelfield on the 2, actually, and they're going to look to turn this around. Health pot can be cancelled by an archer there. That's pretty bad luck. As Tempest not quite able to get there in time. Master obviously on bottom, taking pretty strong control of this lane. Pharaoh was level 5, so he's getting his levels, just not the CS. Sitting here at 188 gold per minute, 18-0, so not terrible creep score, but 38 and 10 on Fuzi and the Puppet Master at 417 gold per minute with that kill on Pharaoh, obviously no doubt helping quite a bit. Mid lane DD on Miraxis, looking for the top rune. And Wall goes out there and he's like, ah. But Torture is there in the meantime, and Drunken could be in a lot of trouble. Takes the chain reactions, Quake Stun's there as well, and you're just dead, buddy. 3-0 hero kill advantage coming out in favor of Legion side as they've picked up kills on pretty much everybody. Minuts, Limp, and now Chessie all dropping. As the Friedman brothers are the only ones without deaths. It's in their blood. DM coming out of the side as Magnus is looking for a jump onto somebody. You're in trouble, buddy. Getting it dove. Torment Soul catching him out there, but he's going to put the Lava Surge Stun out there. Rhapsody Stick on Sun's coming out as well. Quake Sun's there, and Drunken Master going to drop once again. Lots of support coming in. Skelfield is actually onto just the one, as Magnus going to try to channel your option. Not going to happen. Tempest Ultimate pulling in two, and they're going to kill both Magnus and Seal Kid there. 2-for-1 drop coming in there as the SG response to the mid-tower dive is successful, and they exchange 2-for-1. Chessie dying once again, 150 gold per minute is a pretty serious issue, though. And the counter picks are nice, but more important, I think, is getting Chessie off to somewhat of a good start, and that's just not happening at this point. You look at Fuzi and Miraxis, both at 380 plus gold per minute. And Tempest in the Woods, Minot's farming quite well himself, as I believe he got a double tap there. Yep. But Bubbles at 300 gold per minute, doing well, not the greatest. And then Pharaoh at 200 GPM, and way down there in 4th is Drunken Master having died twice. Chessie not having the great start so far. And 8 minutes into this game, we're seeing a slight gold lead for the Legion and a slight experience lead for the Hellborn. Obviously, the jungle factor playing a pretty significant role in that. Up top, going to see a push from Tempest, but not really going to amount to too much. Bubbles running Pharaoh on the bottom lane, going to go off to the side, drop and look for something, but now going to get dove a little bit as Seal Kid's like, hello.
I'm just getting started.
Minot's on top, meanwhile. Going to drop as Miraxis is like, hello. I just said that twice, didn't I? Anyway, Bubbles off the side, taking the chain reaction stun, going to take the strings as well, not going to survive this. Wrath of Pharaoh coming in on the Puppet Master, but has the ultimate. Going to try to kill Pharaoh, is just barely going to happen. So, 2 kills happen for Legion on bottom, +1 on top. They have a 7-2 hero kill lead, and despite the dual support, have taken advantages in both resources. Bubbles off to the side, good port once again, and have to TP on, or a Shell Surf on out, as that was a bit of an issue. Mirax coming in. The train. Perhaps to drop the dance floor in the middle. So BMG looking good early on. And I have the same question as I did before, where's the damage? And this is really a phase of the game where the damage is there. Like, this is about as, not as good, this is close to as good as the damage is going to get. And Seal Kid should know there's a ref word there because of the random wall from Empath. Interesting that Z-Freak is choosing to level up the wall over his synergy. I think you might get a little longer duration on it, which is nice, but I think the synergy is more valuable early on. Because really, you just need the wall to disrupt somebody for a bit of time. You don't need it for that long. I can understand trying to max the essence link along with synergy. Usually, I just go 1 point into synergy, in the essence link, 1 into wall, and then max synergy, and then max link, and then max wall. It just seems to me like that's the massive, or that's the quote-unquote correct build, because it says well, Synergy's not really that powerful later on, and then, was it plus 4 health per second or something like that at level 4? It is really valuable earlier on. Joseph ain't gonna get caught. Lava Surge onto 2, very nice. Kelpfield going down, but he's gonna be like, I'm gonna port now, and oh god. If he would just if Limp had just walked up to him, he would have been dead. Meanwhile, off to the side, Drunk gonna have to push Miraxis away and will survive as a result. Time popping the regen rune, gonna be able to stay in lane. Thanks to it. Top bubble's not doing too much. That isn't normal. I don't know. Bit of a passive phase right now. Nothing much to say, as there's nothing much happening. Bot tower getting pushed in here by Puppet and Torture. Blip can go out and gonna delay them a little bit, but should still end up in a tower kill here. The Ballista obviously helping out quite a bit, and nice tower kill there. Chain reaction. The boss stop Pharaoh from denying anything, and the Strings and Puppet Show go out. I think. No. Yeah, both. Will stop the aggression from Hellborn, and that'll get both Tor and Puppet out of there scot-free with the tower kill. Legion continuing to expand their resource lead a little bit. 4K as they have a jump here on Miraxis. Gonna put the Dance Floor down there. Will help them a lot. Matrax going down as well, and like, what are you gonna do here? They're gonna try to break it, but not doing too much. Wrath of the Pharaoh coming in. Miraxis still in some trouble. Quakes under the 2. Not going to get the Mummy's Walls up as a result. Wall going out. Still trying to kill this Miraxis. Finally, Mummy Walls are there. And the rest of the Legion team finally porting in. Will be able to get the kill onto Pharaoh. And Miraxis in the background. Who's going to get picked off? Ultimate coming down from Tempest. Hits everything. Oh my god. Nice ultimate from Minus. And they're going to be able to do some cleanup. But as he ends up in a 3 for 3. And there's a Lava Surge in. Going to try to get a kill on Bubbles. Supposed to take cover down. Not going to be enough. One more auto attack. Nope. Able to get away. Tempest putting the strings on, but Lava Surge is available. Gonna try to get it. Looking for the angle. No. And Bubbles, nice getaway. Probably had like 5 health when he had. He was getting out of there. So ends up being a 3 for 3, and I think the Legion will take what they got, considering that both Jonas and Fuzi lived, and they managed to kill the Chessie and the Drunken Master, who's really the one that's supposed to be, I think, prioritizing the farm. But Swindle and Minus actually have most of it on the Hellborn side at this point. It took them so long to kill. I mean, that took literally 5 or 6 seconds to kill Miraxis. And the Legion response was not fast, but it still got there. Like, that's how long it took them to kill. They did not port in immediately. It took them a while. If they had poured in immediately, they probably would have cleaned that up way quicker than they did. And Miraxis might have lived. But if it had been on the initial jump from Drunken Master, then they would have just crushed that team fight. So a little bit slow there. It doesn't matter just because Miraxis is so tanky at this point in the game. And the Hellborn side, once again, where's the damage? Where's the damage? I'm just not feeling the damage. Rhapsody off to the side. Miraxis can get drunk, but doesn't actually able to get the sun up. Drops the Matrax. Empath's going to jump inside of Drunken Master actually has on bottom. Let's check out what happened here with Justice Man getting jumped, I guess, by the Pharaoh ultimate, and he will get done down there, and one walls go off as well. Pretty easily killed there. Meanwhile, in middle lane, as we saw, Rhapsody Dance were going down. Gonna try to chase him down with the axes. Wall goes out, gonna stop this a little bit, but not by too much. Matrax gets exploded there, and what's gonna happen here? No Quake Stun is available. No, it is. Excuse me, I thought he didn't have enough mana. Danceforce goes down, gonna provide some vision, and they won't see anybody. Port coming in middle, and Tempest is here looking for something. Empath still inside of Drunken Master. Second port coming in, and Drunken looking to turn this around. They're going to get the kill onto Fuzi very possibly. Ultimate coming out from Rhapsody Chain. A lot of damage. Chain reactions coming in there as well. Fuzi in a lot of trouble nonetheless. Will fall. Seal Kid's next, and he's going to drop as well. Quake's down there. Is he going to finally be able to pick off Swindle? Yes. Despite the takeover, he gets chain reactions onto a couple. And Morax is going to try to run away here. Hellfire goes down, and nope. Arcane Shield, not enough to save him. Despite the Mummy Walls there. So 3 for nothing as the Hellborn lose nobody, and they pick off everybody except for Hanskin and that Jonas fan. On lane KG, I dodged that stun. Tempest now going to do some pushing, as we're 14 minutes in. The Hellborn are not taking a tower yet, despite the fact that they've got that Tempest. And once again, we just see these games where Tempest gets picked up, and he doesn't seem to be pushing very effectively, and I don't know what this is about. Maybe it's the lowered elemental damage or something like that, but more than that, it just seems like people aren't even trying to push with him. They will take out the mid tower here, but, you know, look at this top tower is almost completely full. And it's a Suicide Magnus, not exactly the king of counter pushing. He has some, but it's not like, oh god, can't push against the Magnus. It is harder. It's just, it's not like it's Master or anything. Or Engineer. The turret and the keg, it's really easy to kill creep waves. Triple attacks here are going to be taken by Puppet Master and Rhapsody, putting the dance floor down. The Whiplash auto attacks obviously doing quite a lot as well. Seal Kid's taking so much damage here. Poor guy. Anyway, a bit of more passive phase. We have had a pretty active game with multiple team fights here so far, but nothing that's not, for the most part, not continuous action. There hasn't been that much ganking. We're a little surprising considering the Drunken Master, Pharaoh, and Bubble's presence here in the Hellborn side. Strong gank potential, no doubt, and haven't been using it all that much. They've tried, like, a fair bit, and a lot of these sort of initial ganks have developed into full-blown team fights. Tempest is going to start pushing this top lane with his elementals, finally. And we'll back off, apparently fearing retribution for that. We'll help take the tower aggro so that the creeps can absorb it, and the Hell Cannon, which actually has never been in range of this tower. It's a little disappointing. They would have gotten a lot more damage on the tower if they had actually been able to push it into the tower and have that Hell Cannon firing on it. Middle lane, get to see a jump here, and we're actually activating the Arcane Shield. Be like, alright, Wrath of Pharaoh off the side into Rhapsody. She's definitely going to drop. Dance floor goes down, not going to help too much, and now Miraxis in a lot of trouble. Activates the Matrix. Going to kill it, do a lot of Drunken Master there. Bubbles jumping in with the kill field on the 2. Puppet Master Show going on to Drunken. He's going to take a lot of damage, get locked down, and killed despite the empath wall. And Puppet Show going down onto Bubbles off to the side. Are they going to kill him? No. 1 for 1 at this point. Lava Surge there onto empath. Easy pick on a Z-Freak. So it's 2 for 1 now in favor of Legion. And Wolves off to the side, finding himself in not the greatest position in the world. But has the portal key, of course. Nice early PK from Swindle. As he's at 350 gold per minute. Minot's at 370 GPM, so Foozy though, man. 523 gold per minute, Puppet Master. Bubbles once again going to jump away. Obviously Foozy having that Assassin's Shroud, trying to live, or trying to catch this Bubbles. Obviously they have vision of each other. Bubbles has access to Shell Serve, so it shouldn't really be an issue. And he will get away without anything much further happening. So the jump there from Legion, they brought 4 heroes and they got turned on as they managed to lose not only Z-Freak, creating a 1 for 1 in those supports as Seal Kid died, but also Chessie on that Drunken Master once again falling 372 gold per minute, and he's just not having the greatest game. Regis Rune on bottom will be bottled up by Bubbles as the Portal Key helping him grab it. Miraxis, for his part, does not have a PK, actually 1200 gold saved up. KG is at 330 GPM, and I'm really surprised. Choosing to go for a slightly more tanky route, Helm of the Black Legion investments first. I honestly don't disagree with that. I've had a lot of people yell at me. I play Legionnaire. I'm like, let me get a Helm investments first because I don't want to get a PK, jump in, and just die right off the bat. I'll do a fair bit of damage and it provides nice initiation potential, but it's a lot more valuable if I can get the PK after I get the Helm investments, so I can be like, oh, well, when I jump into this fight onto 3 people, I'm not just going to die. And they're like, but you need a PK. I'm like, yeah, I do, but not, you know, not until after I'm saying I'm tanky enough to start initiating these fights. So, KEGE, more going that route. Got a stuns here on Minots. He's possibly in some trouble. Bubbles off to the side, perhaps looking to jump somebody, but Minots putting the Glacial Blasts down. Arcane Shield goes off, but they're going to kill Minots somehow, actually. I think Hanskin there with the Agonizing Balance, I suppose, managed. Nope, he doesn't even have that. I'm not sure what killed him. Vagabond Leader will chase these Hellborn heroes down a little bit. Magmus off to the side looking for a jump. Does not have a portal key himself. Instead choosing to, just like his buddy in KGE, go for the Helm first, it seems. I think it's a little less essential on Magmus. For him, I probably would go straight portal key, but I can't really fault that decision. It's fine. You feel like you need a little bit more build up, a little more tankiness. Off to the side, Jonas and Fan will stun these creeps and kill the mid tower going to drop. No surprise. Up top, we're going to see Drunken pushing in this top lane, and likely won't get the tower kill here. Yep, there's support coming in to defend it. Jonas is here saying, "Get off of my lane. This is my lane. It's my home." And it is his home. This is Jonas's home. Actually missed the creep with that lava surge. But the lava touch will help him kill it, and there it goes. Not a big deal. Fuzi finishing off these ancients once again as they continue to be stacked by his Whispering Helm creep. Continuing to massively increase his farm. Invis Miraxis looking to chase down this empath will not do so. Instead, bubbles off to the side, perhaps a better target, but he's hiding in the woods. Will get spotted there by KGE and just drop the hatch on the ground. As I believe his portal key is available. Yep. And actually I believe that's Magnus is finished. Yep. Magnus has finished Helm there. In the middle, speaking of Magnus, he's getting jumped on by Pharaoh. But also go down. Essence Link stun also coming off, and he's in a lot of trouble. Kelfield is there. 4 heroes here for the Hellborn team, right into the Buffalo's blink, and there goes a Shell Serve to finish him off. So, Jonas Fan in a bit of a bad position as 4 heroes from the Hellborn collapse and kill him. But nonetheless, Legion do have a gold lead and a really experienced, more or less even. The issue, I think, is once again coming back to Fuzi. 520 gold per minute here. Pretty easily the hardest carry in the game. And as this game goes later and later, it's going to be more of an issue for this Hellborn team, I think, to be able to survive these fights, just because they've got so much initiation potential with Magnus and Miraxis that Fuzi can basically just sit in the back and say, "I'm going to right-click auto through your entire team while you focus my tanks." Off to the side, Bubble's going to try to pick Rhapsody here, but here's Hanskin as well, and he's going to pay for this, actually. So they get the 1-for-1, but Seal Kid saying, "Alright, if you want to trade Bubbles for me, that's totally fine." Top tower going to die in the meantime, so 4 Hellborn heroes push it in, and that's a pretty nice take, but I think in terms of the hero kills, no doubt Legion coming out on top in that regard. And who got that? In fact, Fuzi did get it, so once again, a positive for this Legion side. And BMG, it felt like this last game, I spent a lot of time in the last game saying, it feels like BMG is ahead, it feels like BMG is ahead, and then they died, and they lost the game. This game feels like BMG's ahead, and they're actually ahead in resources, which wasn't true last game, so that makes that statement a little bit more firm, but nonetheless, I like their lineup composition significantly more. These mid-game oriented teams, SG is the first team to do this, so if they're going to run a mid-game oriented team, I have faith in them to execute. They understand how this type of thing works and how to execute the strategy. And they've got 12 hero kills in 22 minutes. They've started to push down towers, which definitely want to do, actually. Pharaoh going to get caught out here by Puppetmaster, forced to attack his own puppet, and he's in a lot of trouble. One more auto attack there will help him out. Wrath of Pharaoh going to stun a little bit, but there it finally is. Puts some on walls down, and Fuzi now going to be counter-initiated on. Took a little too long, despite the chain reactions there from Torture will drop. Now Torture going to be in a lot of trouble as Shell Serve hits him. Going to try to get away, and they're going to see him though, and Drunken will push him right out of the port, and that's 2-for-1, excuse me, as Limp did die on that Pharaoh, but nice pick. And this is going to turn into a bot tower push as 4 Hellborn heroes are here, including Tempest. So no doubt this is probably going to turn into a dead bot tower, and that will be the last of the tier 1 towers dead in favor of the Hellborn. Of course, they still have their top tier 1 left, a little bit low, and Legion should be able to push this down relatively easily, but not doing so quite yet. And no surprise, this bot tower falling in about half a second. Red tower getting pressured here a little bit by Miraxis with the quick stun down and to clean up the creep wave, but portal keys away. Just make sure that the Hellborn aren't porting to the base tower and going to start initiating on him, as they do have the portal key on Bubbles, of course the Wrath and Pharaoh initiation from Pharaoh. Drunken Master with the stagger and the lunge has some pretty decent long range, and the push button on Tempest up top. The Magnet and the tower gets killed, so ends up evening the hero tower, or the tower score, not the hero score, 16-14 in favor of Legion, obviously, as you can see from up top. Top second here, we're going to get pushed in a little bit by these creeps, but Jones and Fan on that Magnus deciding to leave. Instead, Congr's going out, and Hellborn looks like they'll take this relatively uncontested. Doesn't seem to be too much vision here from the Legion side. In fact, they only have 1 ward up there up top, so interesting. Pharaoh, obviously. Whenever you have a Pharaoh team, much easier to kill a Kongor with that Hellfire coming out. Wrath of the Pharaoh there into Miraxis, and we'll see if he can get out of this. Mummy Walls go out. Arcane Shield gets popped. They're not going to actually activate it. He's in a lot of trouble. Again with the Quick Stun down, but still going to drop as a wall. Cuts him off a little bit off to the side. Looks like Raps is going to get jumped. Lava Surge on the 3, in fact. But Fuzi pops the Shrunken Head, puts the shrug, the strings there onto Pharaoh. Going to get stunned by Drunken Master, though, who has the Unbreakable going off. He's taking a lot of damage, and Seal Kid drops to the background. Looks like the Elffield going to go onto a couple, but it's not going to stop the Jumps from Fan. Oh, getting a couple of kills there, in fact, 3 kills. Huge cleanup there, as Torture going to try to chase down Tempest. Impalement will get it. And yeah, Tempest going to have to pour it away. So huge plays from the Odinson Fan there, as his Eruption just killed everything, and that was really surprising. I didn't even see it being channeled, and all of a sudden all this damage is coming out and the entire Hellbourne team evaporates. And pushing this middle tower there. So what was looking like a really good fight for Hellbourne. You know, they took Kongor and they took a nice fight there. Obviously token burned as well. So technically they had 5 deaths. And Fuzi did die for the Legion side, which was a bit annoying for them, I think. But Drunken Master also going down, so carry for carry in that sense. And then of course they also get the mid tower and the token killed. It's a real nice fight there from BMG. And we'll see what they choose to next here on SG's side. And I continue to reiterate, it doesn't feel like they have the damage. I mean, that fight they had a token, they had a Tempest ultimate. I'm sure they used it. It might have gotten canceled really early though. But they had a Tempest ultimate, they had a token, they had the jump factor. They killed Miraxis really early without using too much. They just used the Wrath of the Pharaoh to kill him, which was definitely worth it. They had their entire team grouped up there. And really, in a 4v5 situation with a token, they then proceeded to lose the team fight. Pretty hard, actually, as they dropped technically 5 deaths and took only 3 kills after. In total, sorry. And I'm going to get Torture out here. Seal Kid's totally screwed. Sorry, Hanskin. I see support, I think Seal Kid, because they almost never run dual support strats. Hanskin did not die tonight. I was wondering, because like, he has a low respawn time, so maybe he did, but he didn't. He's actually level 14, so he's not doing too bad on levels at all. In fact, higher experience per minute than Super KG. It's pretty impressive. 293 gold per minute for that matter. Well played, Hanskin. Has the push book on top of Steve Boots and fortified bracers, so perhaps looking for an Astrolabe. As nobody else on this Legion side, I think, is looking to grab one. Meanwhile, Fuzi has the Assassin Shroud up, looking for a pick off to the side. Where's he poured away from Tempest, and he will be fine. Shell Surf going out there will scout Fuzi, and perhaps Hellbourne team looking for something. Tempest Elementals will catch him. Assassin Shroud goes up there, so it's going to be hard to actually block him down. Miraxis on the bottom lane, just pushing this tower, man. Rookie away, feeling like I don't know where the Hellbourne team is. They could be trying to jump me. Certainly playing that safe, not a bad idea, but doing a bunch of damage to this bot tower, and they're already up 1 tower, so that's going to help out as well. Once again, it just doesn't seem like Tempest's push potential is being used. And that might just be because the Hellbourne team doesn't feel like they can 5-man push. Which I don't disagree with, to be honest. I mean, they have quite a few teamfight ultimates here on the Legion side. Eruption, Rapsiel off to the side. You're going to see a jump by Miraxis. Going to have a pop early Shrunken Head by Drunken. He'll run away and see if Pharaoh can actually get out of this Wrath of Pharaoh. They're going on to the train. As Wall comes out as well. Going to stop KG from further initiation. Assassin Shroud coming out. Going to look for a kill on Empath. Has the Bound Die. Will she be able to get away? Not likely. There's the Puppet Show, and you're dead. Glacial Blast going out of Fuzi. There's the ultimate from Tempest as well. Immediately stop by chain reactions, and Minot's going to be in a lot of trouble. Ultimate from Rhapsody going out as well. Minot's falls on Tempest, but so does Seal Kid. Actually becomes a focus, obviously. Shell Surf going out in the middle on the Coptic Outfield, but pretty easy kill on to Chessie, and PK away from Bubble. So that ends up being a 1 for 3 in favor of Legion. Obviously losing only their support here, and they're also going to take a tower out of this. And, well, just, meh. Hellbourne had forever and a day to react to that fight, and they did. And it just didn't, it wasn't enough. And, I mean, we're already 29 minutes into this game, and it doesn't, we're only, I should say, 29 minutes into this game. And it just doesn't seem like they're able to deal with the Legion aggression. Just they keep coming back with stun after stun after stun. The initiation potential from long range is so good, and Hellbourne's initiation potential is really good as well. They don't have as many stuns. They don't have nearly as much damage. They don't have the lockdown, the disables that Legion side do. It seems like Legion use half their disables in the chase. So not actually locking people down and killing them. It's like Mirax's stun's being used so the rest of the team can catch up. And he does a little bit of damage, and that's nice. Magma stun is being used so the rest of the team can catch up. You saw that up here at the top, where Magma stun empath purely so that Puppet Master could get in range. It wasn't like, he's already in range, I'm locking this down so he can do more damage on top of this. I'm locking him down so he can get a Puppet Show off, so that he can continue to lock this hero down. This stun is more about preventing this hero from moving than it is about doing damage to this hero. And despite the fact that multiple stuns are being used that way, not to do damage but to prevent other heroes from moving, and that they do get some damage off, so I don't want to say like, oh, it's only serving that purpose. They just have more. They keep coming over and over and over again, and to the point where you can use one or two to get the rest of your team into the fight. So if you're not all completely together at one place, if you can straggle a little bit, and you can come in later, and there will be, you know, your teammates to lock people down, so you can come in and then continue to lock people down, and eventually all the disable turns into kills. And the point is just that the Legion have so many ways of disabling the opposing team. Mirax is perhaps looking for a jump here in middle, as... Nope, maybe not. Tremendous Soul going to spot him out. And of course, once again, deactivate the portal key. Obviously very annoying for any portal key holders. Slither Words and Tormented Soul. Power Throw also a bit of an issue. Slither Words are probably the worst. Because they're just there and you're like, what? I PK'd, what the hell? And you're like, damn Slither. Anyway, H is getting killed over here by Fuzi. Pretty easy take. Hellflower going down. That's an interesting pickup. Yet again, the disables. Mertrax is going to jump into 3 actually, and he needs to be a little careful about this decision. Drunken could jump on his... yeah, you're going to be... KGE's like, I want the Arcane Shield to go up so that this doesn't work. Chain Reaction is not going to hit. Stagger away, Quake there onto Drunken. He's going to take a Lava Surge Stun as well. Coming in with the Sheep Stick is Bubbles, obviously putting under the Fuzi. Nice ultimate there, only going to lock down Torch Rescue. KG running into it as well. Fuzi trying to get out of here as she's taking a bunch of damage despite the Shrunken Head. He'll drop Limp Falling in the meantime though. Jonas and Fan actually has the ultimate going off and doing a bunch of damage off to the side as Drunken Master is going to get locked down. And there goes Chessie, so Tempest is able to get away, but Legion side losing both Fuzi and Seal Kid. Taking Pharaoh and Drunken, so probably a favorable trade for them. A little more even than it would normally be, considering it's basically carry for carry. Actually, though, as they're not going to be finished here. One stun there, onto Bubbles, looking for the Quake as well. He's going to get Shell Surf away, and Miraxus will actually fall here. Chain Reactions there onto Tempest, but now lots of trouble, and Hanskin's going to drop thanks to the wall. Off to the side, Bubbles looking for something, will portal key away. Joseph's like, alright. He's going to Lava Surge, and should be fine. Push Book there on Tempest. Yeah, and nothing really. Gonna do too much to kill Jonas. Actually, that fight ended up pretty well in favor of the Hellborn side, taking 4 for 2. With Jonas the only survivor, so nicely fought there by them. And they're gonna need to do that a couple more times, I think, at least, coming back into this game. The new Sheep Stick on Bubbles was a surprise, and I don't think they're gonna make the same mistake again. And knowing that that Bubbles has a Sheep portal key obviously now there as well, Fuzi's gonna be a little more careful because Bubbles got that just before the fight started. So really good timing on his part, obviously. Like, yeah, okay, I got the Sheep now, we can fight, but now the guys in BMG are more aware of that. They're going to be a little bit better able to deal with it. Jonas Fan up top, in a lot of trouble. Going to take the Sheep Stick as well as Shell Surf off of the side. Doesn't have a lot of mana. There's a stun from the Essence Link as well as the Silence. Taking the Glacial Blast in the kill field. He's going to stun away. Takes the kill field stun, obviously. Going to have the wall get put down as it's the Meteor, but the wall. And that wall and the Meteor. A little too much. Fuzi off to the side looking for a pick onto somebody. There goes the Shell Surf, and boy, you're screwed, Bubbles. Looking for something. There's the Essence Link there. Shrunken Head goes up, and the puppet on top of My Nuts, wow. After the Fair coming in will actually hit Fuzi. He can't do anything thanks to Barbed Armor, but Pops the Assassin Trap will be able to run away while going down. And Empath's in a lot of trouble. Matrax will explode. Drunken Master finally coming in here. Chessie running away as the puppet show is forcing Limp to attack stuff. Chain Reactions actually hit DM. And run away Fuzi. He's got the push book. And he's looking for the counter kills here. Assassin's Shroud just barely available. He's going to have to run away. Tormented Soul actually does spout him out and kill him, so nice kill there from Limp onto Fuzi. Chain reactions on a Drunken Master. He's in a lot of trouble. Quick Sun follows him. That's going to be a pretty easy kill. Off to the side, Rhapsody is sort of chasing down Limp with the Invis Rune. In fact, blocking the hell out of him, trying to get the team in here, but it's not going to happen. They're just way too far away. And despite the Portal Key and Miraxes, I don't think it's going to be enough to catch Limp on this Pharaoh, so Seal Kid will give up the chase. So that fight probably going once again in favor of Legion, as they knew that the Sheepstick was there. They have Jonas get picked off, but are able to then go clean up the fight. Fuzi buying back, as not feeling like he wants to spend all that time dead. And I believe they lost just Fuzi and Jonas in that entire exchange and took 4 kills. Kongor's back up, that's what he's doing. And this will be scouted by the Tormented Soul, but what can Hellborn do? They're actually all back. Chelsea's not back for 25 seconds, but Bubbles is up, so is Tempest. And they're going to have to be careful about this, because Hellborn don't have too much vision. They've got a worse sight here. And, sorry, I meant Legion don't have too much vision. They have none, in fact. But Kongor going to go down here. Wrath of Pharaoh coming in. There it is. Fuzi actually does pick up the token, and now Pharaoh's totally screwed. So, nice attempted snipe there, but it's not going to happen. Fuzi actually does get the kill and the token. You know, Assassin's Stride in here, going to try to look for a pick on Bubbles, not going to find one, we'll just back off. So that's a pretty big deal, and I think BMG is just more and more securing their lead. The Sheepstick caught them off guard, caused them to lose a team fight, but after that they're like, alright, we know we've got the sheep, that he's got the sheep, we can work around that. Magnus up top, just sitting here. Is there a rune there? I think so. Jonas is just being a troll. There's a DD here. Jonas is being a giant troll. He's getting himself a bottle delivered. Meanwhile, in middle, Swindlemon's getting picked off. Sorry, let's watch that. Jump in there from Miraxus Hellflower as well, and despite the empath wall, not going to be nearly enough, as yeah, a lot of that wasn't really effective. Assassin's Stride, but obviously Z-Freak's Word of Rev going to spot this out. Doing it more for the whiplash damage, I think, than anything. Wall going to come out, will provide some counter push there, and Tempest Element is also going to help, but Magnus be like, hello, I can clean those up. Hellflower is on Drunken Master there, but wears off relatively fast. And Fuzi's like, let's start pushing this thing in, because I have a token. Words of Rev all over the place here for Z-Freak. They're going to start cleaning out the Hellborn jungle a little bit as Fuzi takes over a creep. Top tower going to be pushed in. They're like, alright, we can't push base tower yet. Let's just kill this top tower. And there's no reason to let it live while we're pushing a base tower.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Hellborn, I think, are evaluating their options at this point, and I'm not sure how many they have. They're going to get God Hole, basically. Tempest does have the Shrunken Head, which will help quite a bit. He won't be able to be cancelled anymore, nothing. Sheepstick going on to Miraxus here, but he's so damn tanky. Glacial Blaster there as well. Just not going to make a difference. He's also got a Hellflower. So 2 Hellflowers here on the Legion side. Does that go through Shrunken? I want to say it doesn't. DD Rune on yeah, that's Hanskin. Not Flans. Fuzi, what the hell am I talking about here? Wrath of Pharaoh coming in here onto Fuzi. He's going to get bursted down relatively fast. Nice ultimate, perhaps. He's saving a bunch of damage. Kelp will eventually stop it, and there goes the token. Miraxus in the back trying to provide some disruption. Nice ultimate from Jonas Fan, doing a bunch. Tempest ultimate hitting 4. Can't be stopped, but if there's just not enough follow-up, Hanskin does fall. There goes Seal Kid as well. Actually, there is enough follow-up. Fuzi going to drop, so this is a 3-for-0. The God Hole. And the Legion side is falling here. Pharaoh going to be able to get 1 kill, 2 kills. Jonas Fan, and that's a wipe.
Genocide.
The God Hole. That's what they needed. They needed the God Hole. They lost Chessie, but they killed 5 heroes. The only ones with buybacks are Fuzi and KGE, and they're probably going to need to use them. Because everybody's dead for at least 40 seconds except for Rhapsody, and Rhapsody is not going to be able to do shit. this is going to be a cutthroat mid push. They're definitely going to get this tower. I wouldn't be surprised if they also get a base tower. We'll see. Hanskin might be up in time to stop that. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get a base tower here.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
Perhaps going to look for an outer tower push. Vagabond leader getting picked off here. So they win a pretty big team fight there in middle lane. They take the token, they kill the entire Legion team. And they lose just Chessie and the Drunken Master. They manage to take a mid-secondary tower. So nice fight back there from SG, but they're still in the hole a little bit by gold, and if they could have somehow taken Rax there, I'd be feeling much better about their position and their chances to win this game. They didn't. I don't know, I feel a lot better because about their shot, because that was really impressive. That was a great team fight for them, no doubt, and they just wiped everything with one of the more impressive Tempest ultimates you'll ever see. I mean, that's a 4-man hole without a portal key. Like, that's not an easy thing to do. You have to have some pretty awesome timing to do that. And they did eventually clean up. Like, that was enough lockdown for Tempest to, and his team to, or for Tempest's team really, to do a ton of damage. I mean, it seems like they have to do it again, doesn't it? Because all that netted them was one outer tower kill, so it seems like they have to do it again to get a base tower, and then again to get a Rax. And it seems like if Legion win a fight, they'll get Rax. So my question is, how many more times can Minets do that? And if you can do it a couple more times, then yeah, like, that would work. I don't know if that's something I want to bank on, because you probably shouldn't. Dance Forward by Rhapsody going up, gonna help push this top lane a little bit. Miraxis off to the side. You're in some trouble, buddy. Pharaoh has got the mummy walls, gonna put him down, and Miraxis is now gonna run away. Just be like, yeah, I see you. Top tower push gonna be coming in here from the Hellborn side. No, in fact, gonna back off as Rhapsody's pushing this bottom lane pretty effectively. And Seal Kid will force the port back from Chessie. Miraxis looking in through the woods for something. Won't find it, as the rest of the Hellborn team has backed the hell out. And it did also sort of feel like the Hellborn's lack of pushing earlier has really hurt them. Off to the side, Fuzi going to look for something. Wrath of Fair going to miss. And nice 2-man stun there by Jonas and Fan. Ultimate from Tempest going to catch both of them. If they can kill Fuzi, that'd be huge here. Is there enough damage? Doesn't look like it. Steam Bath is there. Glacial Blaster there as well. There's the Sheepstick, and Fuzi's going to drop here, so they do actually have enough. Hellfield going down there. They're not going to be able to stop Jonas Fan, who gets the stun just on Minus though, and he's still in a lot of trouble. Bound Eye going down, and he just doesn't have the Steam Bath anyway, so he'll be chased down and killed. That's a 2 for nothing.
Get down, son.
What are you doing up there, guys, with no vision? They have no words. You don't know what you're running into. Why did you do that? Fuzi has a buyback, Jonas does not. If they don't want to lose this base tower, they have to use the buyback onto Fuzi. I'm not sure if they're willing to do that. I think if it comes to Rax, they probably will. But with 40 seconds, I think Hellborn can probably Rax this. Jump in there by Miraxis. Fuzi does buyback, so he's coming back into the fight. Here he comes. Gonna pick off Minot's really easy, but there's no Tempest ultimate, so who cares? Lemp's gonna come back in. Fuzi just dies. And Han's gonna drop in the meanwhile, but Miraxis in the front line, he's just not doing enough damage to the other team to do anything. Fuzi obviously out of buybacks, not gonna come back in. Here comes Hanskin. He does buy out, but you're dead now too. The Essence Link is there. And the Empath wall goes down, and there's Hanskin. This is going to be a tower. Miraxis buys back. He's coming in once again. Going to try to get the pick on Swindle. Will do so. But how many buybacks they're forcing here? Arcane Shield is second too late. And Miraxis is now in a lot of trouble. He's going to put the Quake Stun down. Going to try to run away. Should be alright. Drunken has almost no health, though. Actually, Wrath of Pharaoh coming back in. Drunken has no mana, I mean. And here comes Joseph Fan. Nice 2-man stun as he's going to try to chase down somebody. Empath in a lot of trouble. And he actually made the stun in the background on a Drunken Master. Ultimate there from... nope. That was a Miraxis. Actually, KGE dies. Joseph Fan going to charge the Eruption, but the Shrunken Head going down from Tressie, and that'll be like, alright, that did nothing. And now Magmus is trapped in the... This. We're going to Lava Surge out, going to try to run away, should be okay, Portal Key away lets him survive, but... Buyback on Hanskin, buyback on KG, buyback on Fuzi. They do prevent the mid tower from falling. I have to stop saying that SG doesn't look good and they're going to lose games. Now, in my defense, I don't know what the fuck that was from BMG, because I don't think that seems like they're playing very well at all. Like, I mean, Jonas and Fan and Fuzi are jumping the Hellborn in their own woods with zero vision and expecting there not to be a response. They've got Wrath of the Pharaoh. They have push books. They've got Blink and Shell Surf from Bubbles. Empath can get inside stuff. Chessie has Stagger and just generally fastness. And they should know on SG's side that they basically have to run as a team because they need Tempest Hole to be their saving grace, essentially, and it does back up. And it just sort of feels like BMG are throwing this. It feels like they could outrice their opponents so hard with Fuzi, and they have been all game. I mean, Fuzi still has the highest GPM in the game, and he's been picked off several times in the last few minutes. Just because he's gonna farm that much higher. He's already level 24, you know? He's got the second highest experience in the game just behind Bubbles. Congore's back up. And this can be contested now by SG. It couldn't before. I mean, when Fuzi and the guys did the second Kongore, like, there's nothing SG could have done about that. And it just happened. Wrath of the Pharaoh here on again Fuzi. Once again, the team is not here. He's going to get sheep down, locked completely out, and killed. No buyback. Tempest Ultimate hitting onto two. Hanskin and Seal Kid both going to get caught in there. Will die, and that's the game. So SG takes the scrims 3-0 as, I don't know about Fuzi's looking, did not look really good at the end of that game, man. He kept getting caught over and over and over again. The team was not there. And the entire SG team was running the train, which is ironic because they were up against the train. So SG takes the scrims 3-0. They come back in this game by a lot. They were down for most of it. And they had a really good showing here. Not only because they beat BMG in every single game they played, but also because they used some unconventional strats. And for the most part, BMG used heroes that we've seen before. So Swindle and the guys are innovating. They're experimenting again, I think, which is something that they haven't done in a long time. They were doing that a lot when, you know, they introduced the mid-game victories. They were doing a lot when they were training a ton. They were playing really well as a team. And then they sort of got beat a little bit, it feels like, you know, when BMG started bringing in stuff like the Ravener strats, and they started using hook heroes all the time, and they started doing all sorts of crazy stuff in the Suicide, like the Jonas and Finn with the Corrupted Disciple and the Madman, and it felt like, you know, BMG were on the innovation front, and now it seems like SG is, and they're reaping the benefits of that. So we'll see if the pendulum swings the other way. But right now, BMG is looking like the number 2 team in Han, and SG, as a result of looking like the number 1 team in Han, will take the scrims 3-0.